And welcome back everybody to Music with Mr. Gerry. This will be keyboard lesson number 2. Last week we did a very quick review of a lot of the things that you should know how to do, know what to do. We're going to focus in today on lesson 7. That's where most of us left off or were beginning to learn. In lesson 7 we really learn all about what makes the keyboard and what makes music. And that is not the notes, but the chords that we play multiple notes together. Remembering that a note is a single note, and that's we put the notes together to make scales and melodies and things. But when we play more than one note together, it becomes a chord. A 2-note chord is called a dyad, 2 tones, 3 triad, etc. And so in lesson 7 we learn the basics of these chords. And since the keyboard is actually designed in the key of C, C, remember, is the note that's on the left side of the 2 black keys. So when we start at that note and go to 8 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we hear the full major scale of C. And of course, we also remember our special fingering to play all 8 notes with only 5 fingers. And that is with our right hand with the thumb on middle C. We play notes 1, 2, and 3, C, D, and E. And our thumb comes under the 3rd finger and reaches to the 4th note. And while the thumb presses that 4th note, the middle finger comes off the 3rd note. And our hand comes back around and we finish the remaining 5 notes. So we go 1, 2, 3, under, 1, 2, 3, like that. And going down, we do just the opposite. We start at our pinky and we go all the way down to the thumb. And when we get to the thumb, the middle finger comes over and goes to the E. And when the middle finger plays the E, the thumb comes off the F. And we finish by bringing our hand back around again, and we play notes 2 and 1, D and E, with our remaining 2 fingers. So we know we've always done that right if we begin and end with the thumb and the pinky like we should. So chord practice 1A shows us that progression of chords where we're playing each chord 4 times: C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and we end on C. And for good practice, even though it's not written, we can go backwards from C to B diminished and kind of learn the names of our chords backwards: A minor, and G major, and F major, E minor, D minor, and on C. It's kind of good practice to train the hand to be able to go again from one chord and just immediately to the next chord, and then eventually we'll learn how to skip chords and different things like that. But in chord practice 1A, that is what we see written. Now when we look at number 2, all we're going to do is add the left hand playing a root tone. So here's where the left hand is going to play the C below middle C. And we're going to use the pattern that we just learned, but in the left hand. So that we're going to go C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3. When we get to the G, our middle finger comes over and plays the A, and the pointer's on the B, and the thumb ends on C. So we're going to add that note to the first beat of our right hand chords. But here's again where we're training the hands to do 2 independent things. The left hand is going to play a note and hold it for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas the right hand will be playing the 4 chords to the quarter note like that. So the chords of 1A to the pattern of beat 2 goes like this: C, D minor, E minor, and F to G, A minor, B diminished, and on C, like that, okay? Now when we look at 3, we see that the left hand is the only part that's playing on beat number 1. So the left hand plays the root note on beat 1, and the right hand is now playing the chords on beat 2, 3, and 4. So keeping with that same exercise of 1A, number 1A with the pattern of 3 now sounds like this. On the last beat, we play it together. Now, when we look at 4, 4 has the left hand playing the roots only on beats 1 and 3, and the right hand plays the chords on beats 2 and 4. It has kind of a folk country sound. So number 4 sounds like this. Beat together. Please remember we're using all 5 fingers going, pinky, ring, middle, pointer, thumb, middle, over, and ending like that. Don't take one finger and just go across like that. Learn how to use both hands correctly. 5 is really cool because this is what's called an arpeggio. We're playing the notes of the chord individually, and what you see is that the capital C is the left hand bass note, and the small C, E, G are the right hand chordal tones. So we have left hand beat 1, right hand 2, 3, 4. So what we get is kind of a classical music sort of sound and phrasing. So when you play the chords in number 1A with the rhythm in 5, it sounds like this. And again, we end like that. So that's what we want to do, is go through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 patterns so that we're training the right hand to play these chords and the left hand to play the bass notes where it's written. And what we see in chord practice 1B is that we're only going up from the C, D, E, F, and when we get to G, we're just going back down again. So we're only using 5 fingers on our left hand, so we don't have to do any crossover or whatever. And so what I want you to do is keep practicing 1A and 1B, the chords in there. For now, I want you to skip C, because that's going to be a special lesson of inversions. And D, I want you to practice, but when it comes to D, what I want you to see is that when you put your right hand thumb on middle C, the next chord is A minor. Well, we can move way over to this side and skip 6 notes to the A minor. However, if we go 3 notes down, the A minor, there's an A minor very close to that C chord. So rather than skipping way up there, we'll see that the closest A minor is actually on the left side of the C chord. So we have the C, down to the A minor, down again to the F, and then up 1 note to the G. Now we go back up to the C, down to the A minor again, this time just down to the G, and we end on the C. So that's the key to doing the chord progression in D, in that is that we're not jumping way up from the C to the A minor, way up here, to the F, to the G, but that we're doing this nice smooth progression that's going down or descending like that. And some of you, know patterns like, and do all those fun songs. So that is your keyboard lesson for the week. Have a very fun, safe time here. Happy Easter to everybody out there. So Mr. Gerry, from the safety and convenience and comfort of my own home to yours, have a great week, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye-bye.